thought I'd do a little video on what I do to reload bullets. 6.5 Creedmoor in actual fact. Some of the case prep I do. So what we got, I've just got, obviously got 12 bullets there. I use silicone spray lubricant as my lubricant for my shells, and I also use Lee resizing lubricant. This is good stuff, I reckon. So what I do is I get a bit of this, put it in my lid here, and also some of this, put in that lid, just liquid. And my dyes, I use a Reading Creedmoor dye with the quick install bush. So all you do is you put it in, lock it, and it's in. No mucking around. Now before I start, I always give my lead press a nice clean. Make sure there's no crud on it. Makes it easy to work. Losing all the crap out of it. And I spray a bit of lubricant on it. The stuff I use at the moment is Tri-Flow. It's got Teflon on it. It's pretty good stuff. So I just squirt a bit around the base. Work the ram. As you can tell, it's nice and easy. And then after I've done that, I just wipe the excess off the bottom. And it works good. Alright. Right, so here we go. I've actually done the first two, so the next one, I always clean my cases before I put them in my dyes. Put a bit of lube on it and a bit of this resizing wax, and I got some resizing wax the same as that on the brush. And I'll just put some inside the neck and push them up into the dye. Now I've just got my dyes so it just about touches the case, and just come back down very gently, no need to hurry. A rag, a bit of paper towel, clean that off and see the crud that comes off a case. And that's nice and clean. Look how clean that is. It's beautiful. The next one, same deal. Get all that black gunk off. Look at that. I don't want that going into my expensive Reading dyes. So when I put it on, it just comes completely off. Beautiful. Put a bit more on, a bit of sizing wax. There we go, nice and easy. I don't think I've done the neck that time. Go through again. Better. Clean that case back off again. Clean that carbon off the neck. I'm going in my good dyes. Now I lubricate the whole case and the whole neck and the inside of the neck. come down, so it's nice. Clean all that oil off, all that grease. Does a beautiful job. Neck off again. No hurry. I aim for consistency, so everything's done the same. I do not tumble my brass at all. As you can see, don't need to. All that black soot off. Inside of the neck. Same pressure every time. Come down the same. Push down too hard, you'll might push your cases down just a bit too far. So take it easy. Now what I'm talking about, that black soot on the neck, is just the carbon from tip to the shoulder where it chambers, and look at that. See the black on my fingers? It's cleaned up. That's nice. Now I've only done about 5 cases. Pretty dirty. So there's another one. Look at that. Nice and consistent. One more. Now, something that might be interesting is the right one in to start with. Alright, this is my shoulder comparator. It's a Hornady one. I'm using the the D400 shoulder comparator. So I need it on there, and I'll zero it out. That's 0. Check some of these cases, see what we got. We should have 23.95. No, that's on the other one, sorry. This one is 15.34. 15.34. 15.34. Consistency is what you want. 15.34. 15.34. They're all exactly the same length from shoulder to base. 15.34. So they're all the same. Now this one here is one I fired, but I haven't resized. Now it's a bit of a bugger, this one, because when you fire them off, you can't really do it with this one because firing pin makes a crater in the spent primer. So really you can't go across that primer, you've got to go to the side of it if you can. I can't get it over straight now, so no, I can't do it. But anyway, what I've got is, what have I got? Oh, I've got this one. I've got a little, I've got a gunsmith to cut the shoulder into a piece of barrel, 6.5 barrel. Just put it so it comes under the shoulder. So if I drop that into there, this will be a different measure to that one because it's a completely different machine. So zero my calipers out on 0. Now we want 32.95, I think. We've got 23, sorry, 23.59 it should be. 23.59, which is right on. Oh, caught that. So that was good. 23.59, I'll do another one. So we're right on 23, I don't want to let it go again, so we're on 23.59 again. Now the unfired one, sorry, the fired one but not unprimed. Now I'm just going to move it over a little bit off that primer. Now remember, this is chambered and fired in my rifle, and that is exactly 23.59 as well. So I have not bumped any of the shoulders in those bullets at all. 0. Now the reason I do this is because I've got a fired shell, and if I go around to my rifle, which is around here, I've taken the firing pin out of my bolt, and I've got a Nielsen action. It's 6.5 Creedmoor, and this is the bolt. Right, just push that in, and it just drops. Now this is the fired case, still got the primer in, dead primer, and if you shut that, what we want is the bolt to shut, but not an amount of force, so we're just pushing down, with my finger. That's easy, how easy it is to chamber, and that's the reason I haven't knocked the shoulders back, because I get a nice shut. Now I do the one that I've just done, put that in there, it's be the same, so just push down, and it only just gets tight as you get to the bottom, which is headspace is almost zero, which is beautiful. Okay, that's exactly what I was after. So I'm making sure that my resized ammunition actually goes back into the rifle. So we'll do this last one. Didn't put any neck lube on that. Comes out like that. Alright, there we go. 12 resized cases. Back over there where my other stuff is. Now I'll finish with these, so they go back whence they came from. Now the next step is primer pocket cleaning. It's the tool. My flash hole cleaner. My length cutting. Cut the length back to what it should be. A deburring tool and a neck brush to finish. So this is an RCVS small rifle pocket brush, so it just fits in there, and I do everything the same. So I do 4 rounds inside the case. 1, 2, 3, 4. Little blowout, and that's as clean as a whistle. Couple of dips, put it upside down so I know I've done that one. Same again. 4, and we've come up as clean as a whistle again. One, 2, 3, 4. Nice and clean. Now I do all those, and I usually do them so I've got the case up this way so all the crud falls out and not into my case. I only done the first 3 like that so you could see how easy it was to do. Same again. Everything's the same. Last one. Just to see how nice and clean that is again. So that's the primer pocket. Right now the next part is cleaning the flash hole, and for that purpose I got my flash little expensive piece of machinery here. It's just a piece of fencing wire. So what I do is clean the flash hole. Now when you clean a lot of people don't clean the flash hole, but I do. Because when you fire in your gun, all the stuff from the primer, all the burnt stuff from the primer is actually going through there into your case, and some of it sticks to the inside of the flash hole on the sides, and also it goes into your barrel. So you really want to get that stuff out. So all I do is just wriggle that around 3 or 4 times in there just to get all the crap off the inside of the around the edges of the flash hole. Just do all that. Like I say, a lot of this stuff is just what I do. I've been reloading for 45 years and I pretty well haven't changed anything in that time. Just use the same techniques, different components, because everything's got a lot upgraded now, but much the same principle as what I was doing back 40 years ago. Right, that's all done, so that's the inside of the primer hole. Now the next thing I do is to check the length, and this is a Lyman easy trim, I think it's called, easy trim. So all I've done is put a 308 shell holder in the back, put that in, it locks it, and I've got a this has got a little cutter on it, and the size of the, it's caliper specific, this little shaft. So just put that in there. As you can see, it fits on the neck very snugly, and the Allen key here is set at 1910, sorry. So 1910, if it doesn't take anything off, which that isn't, I don't have to trim it. So what I do is I go through all those, check them, they need trimming, same, they're all back to 1910, which they don't stretch very much when you fire them. They don't, obviously they haven't stretched at all because that hasn't been done since I fired them, but I always check them because sometimes you get one in there or a couple in there that stretch differently than what the others do, because no two cases the metal is not the same in all the cases. Could be a slight variation, so I check them to make sure they're all the same. I have not taken any metal off any of them yet. They're all still the same. Now if I was taking metal off, I'd feel it, and if the reason I do this every time I reload is because I want all my cases exactly the same length. I don't want one that's 910 and one that's 911 and one that's 915, because sometimes it happens, and I don't want that. I want them all exactly the same length, so that when the projectile goes off, when you fire in your rifle, I want that projectile to leaving exactly the same time as all of them, so they're all the same. So there's nothing taken off any of those since I fired last time, which is good. Alright, so that's the length part of it done. Put that over there. Now next part is the trim. Now even though I have not taken any metal off, I still camphor the inside, so when I go to seat the bullet on the reloading, on the loading of the projectile, I want to make sure that that's got a bit of a chamfer on the inside. You can see it's probably shiny there a bit where I've just done it. I only do it 3 times, 4 times actually, the same as what I do the primer pocket holes. And I'm not going to do the outside because I never took any metal off. So just rip through those, just very lightly, because I haven't trimmed any. There's nothing, no burrs to take off, so all I'm doing is chamfering the inside so that the projectile is going into the press easily when I put the after I put the powder in. if I'm not going to do it, but if I put the calipers on there, I'll zero this out and I'll have a look, but most likely they'll all be 1910. That one's 19.9.5, which is almost 1910. 1910. So they're all almost identical. 1910. 1910 again, which fell out again. 1910. 1910. So they're all exactly the same. And that's what I'm aiming for. Consistently all exactly the same length. Now I've done the chamfering, that's out of the way. Now the last thing I do is just a clean brush and make sure it's clean. I just wipe it. It's a different brush than the one I used when I done the necks. Inside the necks when I was doing the full length sizing. So all I do here is going around the inside of the neck just to get that sizing, the rest of that sizing wax out. As I said before, I don't tumble brass at all. So they're all and there we have it. That is the case prep all done. That had everything done. Now I've only done 12 this time because that's all I had empty. Doesn't matter whether I do 12, 50 or 100. I do exactly the same thing to every case. If I'm loading 100, I sit there until I do all that. And then I can either have a break and do the rest later or just keep going. Okay, the next step will be primers. Now we need to do the priming. Priming is the only thing to go. I use the Lee primer, only press. It's quick, does a quick job. So just put the case in. I'm going to take the die out. Might be a smart idea. Now what I'm doing here is just taking my time, primer in, push it down just if you can feel it hit the bottom, move the case around half turn, push it again, and I run my finger over the end. And you know when it's in is when it sits like that. If it's not in, that's proud. It wobbles around. It's nearly right in now, but it still wobbles. Check it. Now it's in. They all go in quite easily. push them in too hard, you will break the priming compound inside, and you'll have a misfire or a hang fire maybe. So just take your time. And there we have it. Now the primers, when you go to load the primers in your tray, don't touch the primers with your fingers, because you've got grease on your primers, and you touch the back of the primer, won't go off. You'll have misfires and hang fires. So when I put the primers, dump the primers in there, don't touch them. Don't touch them at all. Alright. That's a case. Deprimed, full length size, neck sized. Sorry, not neck sized, but full length sized. And the neck's been pushed back out to this 6.5. And all it's got to do now is to powder in, which I throw from that. I'll do that in the next video, and then the projectile, which I'll do in the next video as well. Alright, and we're looking for one of these beauties when we're finished. Okay,